Coming up on the show today, we're going to be talking about some of the freakiest real-life haunted house stories. We're going to take an inside look at some of the world's creepiest unsolved murder mysteries. Gonna talk about the 15 most scariest monsters from all over the world. And look at the most creepiest place to visit in every U.S. state. And hear from you. It's Wednesday, June 22nd, 2022, and the Mysteries of the Paranormal podcast is coming at you right now. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Hope you guys are doing well on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. It's a pretty nice day outside, and it's a pretty nice day right here inside the studio. We got a jam-packed episode for you guys today. But before we get started, got a couple things to talk about. Hopefully next week, me, Robin Nubbs, is going to try to head out and film a awesome investigation for you guys. What's up, Christina? Next week. Also next week, going to be posting quite a few different videos for you guys. We got a lot to post. Still got a lot to edit. So as soon as I can get them edited and uploaded, they will be heading y'all's way over on YouTube right here on the channel. But with that being said, like I said, we probably got a good 7 to 8 videos coming out for you guys within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So, tons of content coming your way very soon. Also got a premiere coming out tomorrow as well. So be sure to check that out as soon as that premieres tomorrow. I want to say it is 5 p.m. tomorrow is the premiere. Let me just check for you guys just to be sure. Okay, no, sorry. The premiere is... Yep. The premiere is at 5 o'clock tomorrow. We explored this old 1950s abandoned garage. That was pretty cool. What's up, Tails? Definitely a cool place right there. I'm sure it's been abandoned for, I would say, at least a good 25, 30 years or so. But by the way, the floor plan is, and what the floors are like in that place, I would say that it was built sometime in the early 50s. I can't confirm that because I don't really know much history, but looking at the floors, it looks like it's early 50s to mid 50s, somewhere in the 50s. I'm pretty positive about that, but I can't confirm it. But next week we have the cavern video coming out for you guys. We have a video that we did at a small cemetery on the way back from the caverns. And Rob's got a couple videos that is coming out next week as well that he filmed. So tons of videos coming out for you guys next week. And next weekend we will also, I will be filming a short vlog for the July 4th weekend. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into the first topic of the day here on the podcast. We're going to take a look at some of the world's famed police cases. Starting off with number one is the Zodiac Killer. Most people are usually quiet about their crimes, but Zodiac, as he dubbed himself, was anything but. From 1968 through 1969, he terrorized San Francisco with his murder spree, taunting the police with his coded letters to the local paper. What's up, bud? He had at least 5 killings directly connected to him, although he claims to have killed over 37 people. His terror began when Betty Jensen, who was 16, and David Faraday, who was aged 17, were found lying outside of their bullet-peppered car. Jensen was found dead at the scene with 5 gunshot wounds to her back, while Faraday died of a bullet to the head en route to the hospital. A half a year later, a couple who parked their car 4 miles away from the crime scene was also gunned down. 1 injured and 1 killed. The survivor, who was Michael Mayhew, was able to give a description of the killer. He described a heavy-set white man around 5'8". It would be the Zodiac Killer himself that would give the police the remaining evidence. At 12:48 a.m. that same night, the police received a strange call. A month later, newspapers received the first letter from the Zodiac Killer. He demanded them publish the letter on the front page or he'd go on another killing rampage. The letter described the murders, all written with mysterious ciphers that seemed to form a code. This was a common theme with the other letters, as he would send all signed with a crossed circle symbol. One such letter was decoded by a high school teacher and his wife. The Zodiac Killer would go on killing and leaving frustrating evidence for the police. Coded letters, mysterious phone calls, a crossed circle written on victims' cars, sending over blood-stained shirts, accounts from survivors, but still the police never found him. Number 2, they don't give any history on this one, but it is the Tom Shud case. Oh, here's a little bit of history. Okay. Had to click on a different article. On the morning of December 1st, 1948, a body was found on Somerton Beach in Australia. The man's body was in perfect condition with no injuries to be found. He was well dressed, although all the labels on his clothes were missing. In his pocket was a train ticket to Henley Beach, never to be used. It would be a month later when they would find a suitcase linked to him at the Adelaide Railroad Station. Its label was removed as well on the articles of clothing inside it. Unfortunately, it led to no clues, just like his autopsy, which reported no foreign substance in the body that could directly link his death to any type of poisoning. A month later, they would find the most substantial but puzzling evidence in a secret pocket in the man's trousers. It read, Taman Shud. Okay. Number 3 is the Tara Calico case. On the morning of September 20th, 1988, in Belen, New Mexico, it seemed like a perfect day to ride a bike. Tara Calico borrowed her mother's pink bike to go out for a spin. She worked as a bank teller and was studying to become either a psychologist or psychiatrist. She planned to play tennis that afternoon and asked her mom to drive out after her in case she got a flat tire and didn't return home by noon. She never returned. Every lead went to a dead end until a year later when a photo was found of a young woman her age and a missing boy, both gagged. The Polaroid photograph was found in the parking lot outside of a junior food store in Florida. The 9-year-old Michael Henley went missing in the same area as Calico in April of 1988. When he was hunting turkeys with his father, they appeared to be in the back of a van with a copy of a book written by V.C. Andrews, Calico's favorite author, lying right beside the girl. Initially, Tara's mother didn't think the girl was her, but the girl in the photograph had a scar identical to Calico, but still, due to the lack of evidence, many experts dismissed the photograph. But in 1990, Michael Henley's body was found in the Zoni Mountains where he was hunting, which strongly disconnects the theory that the two were abducted and taken to Florida. Calico's parents would eventually die, never finding out who took their daughter. Wow. Number 4 is a wild one. The severed feet mystery. In 2007, a girl was roaming a beach in British Columbia when she found a sneaker. To her horror, as she opened up the sock, she found that a human foot was inside. Since then, a number of severed feet have washed ashore. The feet have been connected to 5 men, 1 a woman, and 3 of unknown. Throughout the years, with a foot thrown here and there, the case has never been completely closed, with many theories floating around as to who the feet belong to. The Vancouver police managed to identify 1 foot in 2008, matching its DNA to a man who was described as suicidal. They later were able to match 2 other feet to a woman who was also believed to have committed suicide. Because of these findings, many speculate that the feet belong to those who jumped off a bridge to their deaths. However, because of the rarity of only feet and no other body parts showing up, some believe that the feet were connected to a plane crash by a nearby island. Others suggest that they were those of the victims of an Asian tsunami in 2004, since the make of the shoes were all manufactured before 2004. Whatever sources these feet are coming from, they have left the world baffled for many years. What's up, Candid Explorer? Number 5 is also another weird one, and quite fascinating, to say the least. It's about the dead woman who named her killer. Although the case has been solved, the way it was solved still remains a mystery. But in 1977, a respiratory therapist in Chicago was murdered in her apartment. Teresa Beza was found under a flaming mattress with a butcher knife buried in her chest. Police attempted to track her stolen jewelry with no luck. They also failed in trying to link any of the suspects to the crime. It seemed impossible to find the perpetrator. That is until Remy Chua, a co-worker who barely knew the victim, involuntarily became a leading source of information. Began having frequent visions and nightmares about Beza. It started in the locker room of her work, where she experienced seeing a man's face behind Beza. This would repeat in her dreams. Chua then began channeling Beza's spirit when conversing with her husband. While channeling Beza's spirit, Chua told her husband the entire story of Beza's murder. She claimed an orderly at the hospital named Alan Showery was helping Beza with her television when he assaulted her. He then killed her and set her mattress on fire. The spirit was even able to give the details of what happened to her jewelry, which was given to Showery's common-law wife. Mr. Chua convinced his wife to give these details to the police. However, the police were skeptical at first, but after seeing the jewelry on Showery's wife, Beza's cousin was able to confirm it just as the spirit said she could. The police were able to convict the man for 14 years in jail. Unfortunately, there was not enough evidence to convict him longer. But was it really Beza's ghost who named her killer? Perhaps Chua had known some facts in the case and disguised it as a spirit possessing her. Whatever led police to the killer remains to be a mystery. Wow. That's insane. But definitely, those past two have been quite fascinating. But moving on to number 6 is the boy in the box. It was the year 1957 in Philadelphia when a hunter found the bruised body of a boy in a J.C. Penney box. The boy, who was around 4 to 6 years old, was wrapped in flannel. He seemed to have died from blows to the head, fearing his muskrat traps would be confiscated by the police. The hunter didn't report the body. It was 2 days later when a college student found the body that the police started on the case of the America's unknown child. It immediately attracted the media's attention, and flyers of the boy were seen throughout Pennsylvania. Although police received thousands of leads, they were never able to uncover the identity of the young boy. They tried tracing back the J.C. Penney box and checking the boy's fingerprints, but everything led to a dead end. However, there were 2 promising leads of notes. One lead involved a foster home located a half a mile away. A medical examiner who pursued the case until his death had a psychic lead him to the foster home, where he found a bassinet similar to the one that was sold in the box. Hanging on the clothesline were blankets much like the one wrapped around the boy. He believed the boy belonged to the stepdaughter of the man who ran the home, and she didn't want to be found as the unwed mother. Police interviewed the couple but closed the investigation. In 2003, they opened the case again while interviewing a woman identified as M, who claimed her abusive mother bought the child back in 1954. but according to her, her mother killed the boy in a fit of rage because M was mentally unstable. The investigation was closed, leaving the boy to remain America's unknown child. Wow. Number 7 is the Janet De Palma case. Usually people connect witches to Salem, Massachusetts, but for this case, the witches were in Springfield, New Jersey. It all started back in 1972 when a dog brought home a decomposed forearm. This prompted a police search, and a body was soon found afterwards atop a cliff in Springfield. The body was identified to be that of a Jeanette De Palma, a 16-year-old who had gone missing for 6 weeks. Immediately, rumors began spreading as to the cause of her death. The hill where she was discovered was covered with occult symbols, and many believed her body was placed on a makeshift altar. Many locals, even some police officers, blame a coven of witches, otherwise known as Satanists, who used De Palma for a human sacrifice. Because of a flood, much of the case's details have since been destroyed. However, some reports from local papers mention that police couldn't determine the cause of her death due to her badly decomposed body. They also investigated a local homeless man who was a prime suspect, only to find no connection with the killing. As for the occult theory, many believe that De Palma may have provoked a group of Satan worshippers at her high school when she was trying to engage them. She was involved with a group who helped drug addicts by finding faith in Christ. The reverend who ran the group theorized that she was selected as a sacrifice to the group because of this. Wow. Number 8 is the Moronanga case. What a name. This case is as twisted as you can get. Basically as twisted as a crime show you would see on TV. It deals with the Japanese company's Azaki Glico, best known for its Pocky snacks. In 1984, 2 armed men in masks broke into CEO Azaki's mother's home and bound her, taking the house key of Glico's CEO. Entering his house, they also tied up his wife and daughter. Mrs. Azaki attempted to negotiate money with the men, but they were after something else. After cutting off the telephone cords, they raided the bathroom where Azaki and his other 2 children were hiding. They abducted Azaki and held him hostage at a warehouse. They issued a ransom for $1 billion and 100 kilograms of gold bars. Their plans were discovered when Azaki managed to escape 3 days later. A few weeks later, just when the company thought it had escaped extortion, vehicles in its headquarters parking lot were set to fire. Then a container with hydrochloric acid and a threatening letter addressed to Glico was found in Ibaraki, where the warehouse was located. This began a string of letters from a person or group that dubbed itself the Monster with 21 Faces. Named after a villain in a Japanese detective series. The letters threatened the company's products, claiming that their candles were laced with potassium cyanide soda. Glico was forced to pull the products off the shelves, resulting in a $21 million loss and the layoff of 450 part-time employees. After months of tormenting Glico, the monster with 21 faces decided to look for fun someplace else. Their final letter towards the company read, "We forgive Glico." With that abrupt ending, they turned their sights on the food companies Murata Ham, House Food Corporation, and Fuja. In exchange of stopping their harassment towards Murata, one of its employees was to hand them ransom money on a train. That was when an investigator who disguised himself as an employee saw the prime suspect, known as a fox-eyed man. The man was well built, his hair cut short and permed with eyes like those of a fox. After dropping the ransom as instructed, he and another investigator attempt to follow the fox-eyed man only to lose him. They would get a second chance later on, but he again evaded them. After continuing harassment towards the police, a year later, Police Superintendent Yamato committed suicide by setting himself on fire, ashamed of his failure to capture the fox-eyed man. 5 days later, following his death, the monster with 21 faces sent its final letter to the media. Yamato of Prefecture Police died. How stupid of him. We've got no friends or secret hiding place in Shiga. It's Yoshino and Shikata which should have died. What have they been doing for as long as 1 year and 5 months? Don't let bad guys get away like us. There are many more fools who want to copy us. Yamato died like a man, so we decided to give our condolences. We decided to forget about torturing food-making companies. If anyone blackmails any of the food-making companies, it's not us, but someone copying us. We are bad guys. That means we've got more to do other than bullying companies. It's fun to read a bad man's life. Sent by the monster with 21 faces. And with that final statement, the monster with 21 faces disappeared, never to be heard from again. Wow. That's crazy. And the last one is known as the Cape Intruder. This final unsolved case is not a famous case, but a local one that I remember from years ago, occurring in a neighboring town. If not for a brief mention of it in an old clip archive regarding a neighborhood watch, might have thought it was just in an imagination, but back in 2005 in the affluent town of Cape Elizabeth, Maine, the community experienced something unnerving. During the night, victims who kept their doors unlocked would wake up in the morning to catch a brief glimpse of a man staring at them. Before they could react, the man would flee the scene, leaving the house just as it was before he entered. Nothing was stolen, nobody was injured or killed. All that he took was their privacy when he snuck into their bedrooms to watch them sleep. A rough sketch of a man in his early 20s played on the local news. Everybody seemed to think they knew who it was, and the police received a number of calls from concerned citizens naming possible suspects. Although 2 people named the same person, the police never did catch this Cape intruder. After some more intrusions in August, December, and February, he never did break in again. Perhaps he had his fill of staring at sleeping bodies during the time period. But through the thought that such a person existed and still walks among us is enough to give anyone the chills, and of course serves as a grim reminder to keep our doors locked. Yeah, Tails, there's definitely some messed up people out there. Definitely some messed up people. Definitely. I don't get why some people just. I mean, plenty of nice people out there too, but also a lot more hateful people, that's for sure. But we're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna run grab me a drink, and we will be back just here shortly. Alright, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. We're gonna head back into the main topics for today's podcast. The next one we're gonna be talking about, we're gonna take a look at the creepiest place that you can visit in every U.S. state. Now, there's no history behind these. They're just basically, I'm just going to run through the list, name them, and we'll move on. Starting off in Alabama is the Maple Hill Cemetery. In Alaska, you have the Alaskan Hotel. Located in Jerome, Arizona, is the Jerome Grand Hotel. Located in Hot Springs, Arkansas, you have the Arlington Hotel. In California is the Turnbull Canyon. Located in Colorado is probably one of the most famous places out there, the Stanley Hotel. Located in Connecticut is a 1754 house, which is known as the Evergreen Inn. Located in Delaware. In Delaware City, Delaware, you have Fort Delaware. Located in Key West, Florida, this is the home to Robert the Doll, the Fort East Martello Museum. In Atlanta, Georgia, built in 1850, you have the Oakland Cemetery. Located in Big Island, Hawaii, you have Wappies Valley. In Idaho, you have the old Idaho Penitentiary, which was built in 1872 and closed for almost 50 years. Located in Illinois is the old Joliet Prison. Located in Avon, Indiana is the Haunted Bridge. That's literally what it's called, the Haunted Bridge. Located in Venezuela, Iowa is the Venezuela Axe Murder House. Located in Kansas is the Stoll Cemetery. Located in Louisville, Kentucky is the Sauerkraut Cave. Located in New Orleans, Louisiana is the St. Roch Chapel and Cemetery. Located in Maine is the Mount Hope Cemetery. Located in Burkittsville, Maryland, Coffin Rock. Located in Fall River, Massachusetts, is also another famed location, the Lizzie Borden House. Located in Leland, Michigan, is a South Manitou Island. Located in St. Paul, Minnesota, is the Waukesha Street Caves. In Jackson, Mississippi, you have the University of Mississippi's Medical Center. In St. Charles, Missouri, you have the most famous Main Street, which is the most haunted road in Missouri that is haunted by dozens of roaming spirits. There is a little bit of history on this one. The legend dates back to 1853 when the old Borromeo Cemetery was moved and a number of the graves they dug up had no bodies in them. Those spirits are rumored to haunt the shops at 700 South Main Street, where objects vanish and mysterious cooking smells emerge, as does apparently a deep French-speaking voice. The town is also home to a haunted community college, a haunted high school, and even a haunted forest. Located in Virginia City, Montana, is the Fairweather Inn. Located in Nebraska, you have another famed road, the Seven Sisters Road. Located in Tonopah, Nevada, is the Clown Motel. Located in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, is the Mount Washington Hotel. Located in New Jersey is the Devil's Tree. Located in New Mexico is the Dawson Cemetery. In West Point, New York, it's the United States Military Academy. In Asheville, North Carolina, is the Biltmore Estate, which is considered one of the most haunted places in North Carolina. Located in North Dakota, it's the Fort Abraham Lincoln State Park. Located in Mansfield, Ohio, is the Ohio State Reformatory. Located in Troutdale, Oregon, it's the Edgefield Hotel. In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the most famed Eastern State Penitentiary. In Newport, Rhode Island, it's the White Horse Tavern. Located in Union, South Carolina, it's the Baynard Plantation. Located in South Dakota, it's the Cyca Hollow State Park. Located in Adams, Tennessee, another most famed location, the Bell Witch Cave and Cavern. Located in Yorktown, Texas, right outside of San Antonio, is the Yorktown Memorial Hospital, which is now abandoned and has been abandoned since 1988. Located in Utah is Moon Lake. Located in Castleton, Vermont, is the Lake Bomoseen State Park. Located right here in Virginia, in Surrey County, is Bacon's Castle. Located in Washington is the Northern State Mental Hospital. Located in Weston, West Virginia, is the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Pfister Hotel. And Rawlins, Wyoming, the Wyoming Frontier Prison. And that is the creepiest place that you can visit in every U.S. state. The next, we're going to be talking about the 15 scariest monsters from all over the world. Starting off with number 1 is the Myling. The Myling is said to be the soul of an unbaptized child. Mylings attack lone wanderers at night, jump on their backs, and demand to be taken to the graveyard. However, the Myling grows bigger and heavier as they near the graveyard, causing some victims to sink into the soil. If the victim is not able to make it to the cemetery, the Myling kills them. Number 2 is the Skinwalkers. The Skinwalker is a witch who has the ability to transform into an animal. The Skinwalker is also known as the Yi Nagashi, which literally means he who walks on all fours. According to legend, recognizing a Skinwalker or even talking about the Skinwalkers in general makes the Skinwalker come for you. Thus the saying, to see is to be seen, until now still avoids talking about it. Number 3, located in the Philippines, is the Aswang. The Aswang is one of the most prolific monsters in the Filipino culture. Usually a female, the Aswang has the ability to transform into another creature. Though they can prey on anyone, they prefer pregnant women and their unborn fetuses. A winged variation of the Aswang, the Managle, has the ability to rip off half of her body, leaving the bottom half on the ground. She flies in search of a pregnant woman's house. She perches on the roof, makes a hole directly above the sleeping pregnant woman, and takes out her long tongue. Her tongue will then go through the hole and into the pregnant woman's stomach. Number 4, located in Russia, is the Baba Yaga. The Baba Yaga is a supernatural being who appears as a rather ferocious looking old woman. She is said to fly around in a motor, wielding a pestle. She lives in a hut deep in the forest and is described to have chicken legs. The Baba Yaga may either be a donor or a villain. She may take on a maternal role and help those who seek her or viciously hinder them. One of the most famed around here, right here in North America, the Wendigo. The word Wendigo is a Cree Indian word that means evil that devours. Wendigos were once humans who had to resort to cannibalism. Eating human flesh supposedly gives a man supernatural powers and also makes them insatiable. They transform into monsters and lose traces of being human. Wendigos haunt humans, but they don't kill them right away. Often they hoard humans' victims and keep them alive to save for rainy days. Located in West Virginia is another famed one, the Mothman. The Mothman is a strange flying creature that came to terrorize the people in West Virginia from November 15th, 1966 to December 15th of 1967. It is a large, man-like figure with 10-foot wings whose eyes are said to glow red. On December 15th of 1967, the Silver Bridge collapsed. This incident paved ways for legends speculating that the Mothman warns of impending disasters. Number 7 in Latin America is La Llorona. Her name literally meaning weeping woman. La Llorona was a beautiful woman named Maria who drowns her children in a river when her husband left her for another woman. She then drowns herself. La Llorona is said to be caught in between the living world and the spirit world when she is not permitted to enter the afterlife until she finds her drowned children. Thus, she is forced to wander the world looking for her offspring and constantly weeping. Located in Arabia, the Jinn, which is a very powerful demon. Jinns are actually demons, like I just said. So one of the most powerful demons out there. They are mentioned extensively in the Quran and are said to have been created from a smokeless and scorching fire. There are also many classifications of a jinn, from the strongest to the weakest. Likewise, they are also divided into classes: those who have wings and fly, and those that resemble animals like vultures and snakes, and those who also wander ceaselessly. Located in Malaysia is the Pontianak. Pontianaks are evil creatures that are depicted as women with long black hair, red eyes, and pale skin. They are said to usually wear a white dress smeared with blood. According to folklore, the Pontiac announces her presence through a sound similar to the high-pitched cry of a baby. She kills her victims by digging into their stomach using her sharp fingernails and eating the organs. If you have your eyes open when she is near, it is said that she will suck them right out of your head. The Pontiac locates her victims by sniffing out the hanging laundry outside of a house, which is why Malaysians don't leave any piece of clothing outside overnight. Number 10. Located in Zulu is the Tokalashi. The Tokalashi is an evil, dwarf-like spirit that causes mischief and trouble. The creature often scares people, but sometimes it causes illness or even death to its victims. The Tokalashi is depicted to look like a gremlin with gouged-out eyes. However, it may take on any other forms. Sometimes it's said to look like a bear-like humanoid. According to the legend, to keep the Tokalashi away, you must put a brick under each leg of the bed. Number 11, located in China, is the Jiangshi. The Jiangshi is a zombie typically depicted as a stiff corpse, dressed in Qing Dynasty official garments. Because it is stiff due to rigor mortis, it moves around by hopping with its arms outstretched. It is supposed to kill living creatures in order to absorb their life force, or QI. The Jiangshi also has greenish skin, which is said to be caused by mold that grows on corpses. Also, it has long white hair all over its head and may exhibit animal-like behaviors. Wow. Number 12, located in Hawaii, is the Night Marchers. Night Marchers are the ghosts of ancient Hawaiian warriors on the night of Kane, Ku, Lono, Akua, and Kalala. The Night Marchers get out of their brutal sites to march, sometimes to pass battles or to go to other sacred places. If you find yourself in the path of night marchers, you are supposed to hear chanting and marching. You need to immediately exit the area to avoid being noticed. If this is not an option, it is said that one must lie on the ground face down. If you get noticed, they will kill you unless you have an ancestor within the march that recognizes you. Wow. Number 13, located in India, is the churl. The churl is a ghost of a woman who died in childbirth due to her relatives or in-laws' negligence. She disguises herself as a young, beautiful woman to lure young men. However, her real form is hideous and terrifying. She is said to drain her victims of their blood, which transforms them into old, frail men. Often the churl's feet are backwards, with her heel in front and her toes at the back. She is also said to have a long and thick black tongue. Located in Louisiana is the Loup Garou. The Loup Garou is the French-speaking culture's werewolf. Similar to the werewolf, the Loup Garou has the head of a wolf and the body of a human. According to the legend, it kills Catholics who do not practice Lent as prescribed by the religion. It is even said that if one breaks Lent 7 years in a row, he may turn into a Loup Garou. On the other hand, some legends say that being a Loup Garou is a curse that can be transferred when a Loup Garou draws another human's blood. The Loup Garou returns to his human form while the human becomes a new Loup Garou. And finally, number 15, the Polydeucia. The Polydeucia, or Noon Witch, is a demon depicted as a young woman dressed in white. She is said to roam fields and cause various troubles to field workers, ranging from heat strokes to madness. In the middle of hot summer days, she appears as a dust cloud. She stops people in the field and asks them a difficult question. If anyone fails to answer her question, she will then proceed to cut off their heads. Ow. Alright. Well then. And there's no history behind these, so I'm just going to run through the list, but these are some of the world's creepiest unsolved murder mysteries. Number 1, located in London in the 1940s, is the Bella Throne skull. Number 2, from the 1990s, is the Springfield 3. Also in the 1990s is the John Bennett Ramsey. Located right here in the USA in 1940s is a Black Dahlia in the 1990s. Blair Adams in 1960, located in Brazil, the Lead Masks case. Located right here in the US from 1970 is the Freeway Phantom. Located again right here in the US. We just talked about this one. From 1912, the Venezuela Axe Murders. Located in Australia from 1940, the Tom Shud case, which we just talked about earlier in the episode. And finally, the last one, located again right here in the U.S. from the 1970s, is the murder of Arliss Perry. Alright. We're going to take one more quick break, and we will be back in just a couple minutes to take you guys through the last topic of the evening, which is some of the creepiest real-life haunted house stories that you can get. We will be back just here shortly. Alright, guys, welcome back to the mysteries of the paranormal. As we get ready and get set to jump into our last topic of the evening, we got some new information. This coming up Sunday, I'm gonna try to do another live stream, not a podcast, but just a normal live stream. If we got time. No, sorry, not Sunday, Monday. I'm thinking Sunday's the 3rd. Monday's the 4th. So Monday, if we have time, if I got a free schedule, sometime Monday, I'm going to try to do just a regular old live stream for you guys to celebrate July 4th. So I hope you guys, I will let you guys know for sure Friday on Twitter and Facebook. So yeah, that's the plan for Monday, as long as the schedule works out. That'll be Monday, probably later in the evening, probably 7-8 p.m. Monday, to help celebrate July 4th. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our last topic of the night. This is some of the freakiest, creepiest, real-life haunted house stories. Number 1,